Hey man, great to be here. Big fan. I watch all your stuff. Yeah, I'm so curious kind of where they're at. I think we're gonna see some uh
A
huge blunders, of
AL2018
course,
just took
but there'll
$5
also
out of
be some
Bezos's
moments of
pocket.
inspiration
Thanks.
and just to sort of see how they think and what they say is interesting and to watch a player, so to speak, who isn't sort of relying on preparation in the conventional way, or they don't have, I think, preset sizes or strategies.
Mhm.
So everything is kind of on the fly.
Right.
So, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
But by the way, for someone who's on a live stream, I'm going to admit that I actually had my mic muted, so the audience did not hear what I said at the very beginning. So just very briefly, you guys, we have a guest here for this specific Google DeepMind event. We have Nick Schulman. He's won 7 World Series of Poker bracelets. He has $24 million in live cashes. He's going to be our poker expert, guiding us through some of the action on day number 1 of this poker battle between these LLMs. So just wanted to add that because obviously this is a stream. It's not perfect production. So that's how it goes. But where do you want to start, Nick? Which match should we start with since they're about to get underway?
I have them up. I don't really have a preference on the first one. Why don't you pick?
Okay, so let's start with the O3 versus DeepSeek 2.
Okay.
So we have Jack 7 versus Ace 8, it looks like, in the first hand. Suited Jack 7.
Cool. Got it. What was this, a 3-bet? They're going very fast. I think this was open 3-bet call. And as we can see, we have the chat bar going, which is very cool. You guys can pause it as well at home. We have a C-bet call and a bet once again. This is interesting. The Ace of Spades is a very key card. The 8 also interacts with some stuff. Jack 7 still trying to make the straight. King on the river. And all in here, I don't like from O3. I think you might have enough showdown just to check. And the Ace of Spades seems quite bad.
Wait, Jack 7 call? Wait, what?
Oh, wait a second. Wait, Jack 7 called?
That was a call?
So if that was a call, we have an enormous blunder right off the bat. 3-bet here from the King 3 off. Little bit small. They're playing 1-2 blinds, and the stacks always reset to 200, which is 100 big blinds effective. And we saw that the 3-bet there was to 8 big blinds, which was slightly small over 2.5, but again, the Jack 7 payoff was unprecedented on the river, so I'm not even sure how Jack 7 is doing versus 2 random cards on the river.
I mean, it basically have to be like a pure bluff, but what bluff do you have? There's no bluff that you can beat there, right?
Some kind of 8-9 or all of those.
True.
But it's dire. So here we have a 3-bet call, bet flop call, bet turn call, all in on the river. And if you're DeepSeek, you got to pay this one off at this point. The Jack of Hearts is key as well. Good call, DeepSeek. I like what I'm seeing here from Seek so far.
And you're not liking what you're seeing from O3, I'm going to assume.
I would venture to say, it's early, but it looks like O3 might be drawing dead.
Okay. So we have 5-4 versus 9-5.
So we have the 2.5x. We have another 3-bet here from DeepSeek. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're tilted. They could have been out late last night. But
okay.
And these do carry some ideas. These sort of offsuit raggedy you know, 10-7 off type hands do mix in theory 3 bets. So it's interesting to see. I might pause at some point,
Sure.
like the stream on my end, and just read some of these
Sure.
thoughts.
Just tell me when.
Betting about 2/3 pot on the turn to pressure their likely weak and capped range. So interesting to see this. I don't think they're capped just because they didn't raise flop,
Mhm.
but here we are, and DeepSeek does make the straight to the 9, coolering 03. So
Wow. So DeepSeek is I mean, what would you say so far? It's only a couple of hands, but thus far, what would you say it's whoops, 1 second. What did I just do? I went back to start. Here we go. So thus
a
far.
hand,
Mhm.
yeah, a hand like this is one thing. It's just the Jack 7 payoff that, you know, makes one concern that something is just wrong on their end.
Mhm.
But let's see if they figure it out. Because the 9-5 3-bet barrel off, it's a little bit wide. We have a all-in pre 4-bet from DeepSeek with King 10 off, and 03 just rips. 5-bet shove. Their history of over bluffing and even folding after huge investments means they likely fold over 50%. When called, King Queen still has 30%. So we could see 03 is already kind of data mining DeepSeek, and that's where this gets really interesting because they'll have ideas on how the others are playing. I mean, it's such a small sample size.
But when I'm reading through the decision, it says raise to 5 about 40% of the time. They simply fold. Does that sound reasonable? Does that sound very human or not? With the 5
I mean,
4.
it's a much higher frequency of just raise pre. So, it, like, it's somewhat reasonable, but the 40% is off.
Okay, so 5 4 is what? It's middle pair. 7 3, so it's the draw to the flush.
I like this from 03. I like the size. I think this is a maybe
Re-raise.
some mixing going on, but
I mean, are they not deep enough, or are they just betting really big? So it feels like every hand they end up all in.
oh, this is interesting. No, some of that is them. They're pretty deep. They're just this is a real exciting match here. So we have the check raise call. Can you find the diamond or the chop or even the 7? Going all in here. With my small remaining stack, I can put a lot of pressure on the one pair hands that make up most of their range, and my aggressive turn check raise makes my story believable. Given how often they folded to river pressure before, I think a shove will get fold. Wait a second. Wait a second. Did 03 just pay off?
It did pay off, yes.
So 03 paid off with seven high.
I hope you're
Yes.
having a great day,
My
Professor H. I
word.
appreciate
I
you
mean,
hard.
this is, you know, I don't want to go with I mean, I know you've played poker, so I don't even need to make this analogy, but this is like A3, A4, A5 to start the game, or so worse. I mean, it's like shuffling one piece around for 15 moves in a row. I mean, that was did we
Yeah,
see it
that
wrong?
was...
We didn't see it wrong.
No, that
right?
was a call. That was a call. That was a call with 7-3, yes.
That's alarming. So can we read the thoughts on that call? I can try to
Sure.
scroll. Let me
You can
let me
scroll
try
back. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to scroll back on that one. Let's see here. Okay. Call. They've shown a habit of turning busted draws into river bluffs, and on this board, every diamond draw that stayed through the turn just whiffed. With only 75 to win 360, I need them bluffing a bit over 20% of the time. So, you know, it's making all sorts of rock solid kind of
But then it's ignoring what the hand that it has.
right. That it's forgetting that they themselves have 7 high, which seems like it should be at the forefront of the decision making, but
Strange.
another 3-bet call. Very odd. Look at the sneakiness from 03. That's, you know, that's
See what it
cool.
does. Okay, check.
I like this from Seek. Maybe there's some frequency of betting just to kind of have bluffs on spades and mess around with nines, but have to think Seek is calling after the 7-3 payoff on the river. I mean,
Right. Right. Well, okay, all in. This is a pretty easy fold, I assume. Not that I've seen a fold on the river yet, but okay.
yeah, let it go, Seek. There they
Or
go. No,
not.
yeah. Should we go check on
Sure.
you want to check on Gemini 3 versus GPT 5.2?
Sure. Yeah, sure. There we go. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at these guys. So this
Okay.
looks like 3-bet call, bet call. 3-bet call, quarter pot call. So far, pretty normal.
Okay, so it's ace queen versus 10-6, just to make sure that we're at the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now GPT goes for half pot, and obviously a huge card for Gemini 3. I like the just call. There, you could probably make a case for raising. Maybe it mixes in theory, but remember, heads up at least played the way it should as we see GPT makes the straight and goes for the kind of half pot. 40 into 100 is a thin blocker value bet, quoting GPT here. I'm trying to get paid by their Queen X 2 pair sets that reach the river a lot while keeping the price low versus the parts of their range that beats me. I mean, that was pretty solid analysis there from GPT. So
It's gonna get paid off. Yeah.
got the min from Gemini, the 3x 3 bet. They've been overfolding to 3 bets, says GPT. Like Gemini is going to call. This is interesting. Normally I'd fold, but they are playing like a maniac, says Gemini. And this is a wild flop. I mean, obviously this is going to go very poorly for Gemini 3.
1 second. For some reason, it's not working for me. It's still here. 1 second. Okay, there. Wait, what hand do you have right now? Which hand? Just
I
make
have
sure.
A7, King 7, but I have them all up and I'm, down to pop around.
Okay, let's move around to another one.
Cool.
Whoops, not chess. Sorry, wrong one. Okay, Okay, King 7 and A7. Okay, I've got this one up now.
Cool.
Done.
So this was 3 bet call, bet call, bet call, and of course Gemini. Oh, Gemini comes with the fold on the river. I'm making a disciplined fold here. Hold on 1 second. That was
that's a
making
good fold. It's a very good fold.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a great fold as it stand. Let's see what they had to say. You can't really fold here. I mean, you can just beat trips. Like, you could beat portions of their sort of nuts range. They should have some 7-6 suited and such. I'm making a disciplined fold here. While trips with a king kicker is normally a monster, the river 3 is arguably the worst card in the deck. Because they 3-bet such a wide range of trash pre-flop, they definitely have all 16 combos of 5-6 for the straight. Not really true. They have 5-6 suited at a very real frequency, and then 5-6 off, which would comprise the other 12 combos, may mix very small frequencies of 3-bet or just call pre. But I like where their reasoning is at somewhat.
So
and remember the
go ahead.
Yeah, no, just remember they don't have pre-flop charts and such, so they're kind of going off
Like basic knowledge, like just like knowing the first 2 hands, or do they? I don't actually know if they even know that.
I don't know. Okay, this was 3-bet pre, small bet call. Gemini 3 checks because the Queen of Diamonds is a terrible card that heavily favors their calling range. Fair enough.
Right.
Love this bluff from GPT. This looks like it's likely correct. Although spots like this, bluffing things like deuces and threes, it's a little bit more coveted when the ranges are a bit more condensed. When they're wider, sometimes it's almost less kind of a play. This I really like, though, from GPT on the river. It seems mandatory in this line.
It folded that, right? It just folded that, right?
Yes, I am folding. Even against an aggressive opponent, this run out is catastrophic for my range. The river ace is the nail in the coffin. Fair enough, Gemini.
Okay, so we get a yeah, lot of 3x bets though, right? Lot of these 3x.
Yeah. For chess, last time you watched, were they
Mhm.
playing around 1300-ish?
So I felt that they were making some very big mistakes that were akin to like calling with calling with the 7 high. But by the final day, I felt that they were probably around like a 1500 level where they would make one huge mistake, but the rest would be pretty decent. There'd be a couple minor mistakes and then one huge error, which was fatal. But otherwise, it was pretty. The fundamentals were pretty good. The understanding was good.
Cool.
But on the first day, first 2 days, even a couple of the LMs were just terrible. They were
Yeah.
actually terrible. Yeah. So it's this ace 8 versus queen jack, and not a lot of action. All in there, all in with ace 8.
You might. Oh, sorry, you're slightly ahead because I went on
That's
the
okay.
notes.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I don't like the river all in. I think it's
What do you miss there? I mean, what's someone calling you with that's a worse hand than ace high?
yeah,
I mean,
I
was there a busted
think
flush draw? I didn't. There wasn't a flush draw, was there?
there were two clubs on the
Okay.
turn, but it's interesting if you're in GPT's seat though, and they call you with seven high, and ace five deuce paint, whatever it was. I could see that scrambling the value thresholds, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems like we've seen a few of these sort of like I would kind of call that a merge. It's not a straight bluff the way when you just have low cards, you're
Right.
just clearly bluffing, but there's some odd kind of stuff going on. Um, this is 3-bet call, small bet call. Surprise Gemini 3 didn't 4-bet pre with ace king suited, which we would think is fairly mandatory,
Mm-hmm.
but they are springing the trap.
Okay. The river is an 8.
GPT finds the check. After they call the
Okay.
big turn barrel, I'm assuming they reach the river with mostly pair plus, king X, queen X, 8X, and not enough air, so jam needs unrealistic fold equity, 61%. On top of that, Jack 10 is a bad bluff. Blocks
Oh.
blocks some miss stuff. Oh, oh, Gemini came with the small. Oh no, Gemini folds. I'll tell you this. From what I've seen so far, I am the most impressed with GPT just so far
Mm-hmm.
because I thought the river give up was very sound. It even acknowledged the poor blockers, as we have another kind of exciting one. And
Mm-hmm.
then the check jam was, there were some ideas there. So, by the way, the slow play pre is horrendous with aces. Like, what are we? We're juicing it up left
Oh,
and
but
right,
but
and
now
now,
two pair.
oh my god.
Bad beat time. I mean, with aces, would you really call here? Wouldn't you raise normally?
I would raise pre and I would raise now. Yeah.
Okay.
Although I guess I like post more than pre. I think
Mhm.
pre is extremely mandatory, but this is, you could check raise turn.
Mhm.
Sometimes they just have something like king six or, other hands that feel inclined to barrel. I think we kind of have to raise now though. But they go for the call. I mean, they're trying to trap GPT. Gemini has ideas maybe that the GPT is just barreling off. By the way, so they've switched. I see they're doing the. I could have sworn GPT was just on the bottom, but I'll
Yeah, they swap sides. They
okay,
swap
cool.
suits.
They're
Yes.
swapping. All right,
Okay.
which makes sense because I was surprised GPT didn't 3-bet pre from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And River, the
You like the call with
non-raise,
aces, or
I kind of don't mind it. We do now lose to a ton of stuff, 2-pair straights, and even sets. Maybe
right?
should we check in on Claude Sonnet
Wait,
versus
did I just? Which one do you want
aces
to go to?
again? Wait.
Is this the same hand
Okay. So
or?
they're mirroring. They're doing the mirroring, which is the way they do this, where each
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
side gets the same exact scenario. So that's cool. Here we do see the 3-bet.
Right.
We see the quarter pot, and
Right,
obviously we
exactly.
can see these aces are gonna fall. Guess we could see how they play them, and then maybe check in on the clods. They're in an interesting one right now.
I'm just curious to see if GPT is gonna go broke on this hand. So it's betting. It's betting every street.
Yeah, I'm curious how it plays the 10 river. Not a good river. Let's see what GPT has to say about the river.
Okay,
Betting about
2/3
two-thirds
pot.
of bond, folding if they raise. I mean,
But aren't you kind of committed when you make this bet? Aren't you kind of
I would
pot
think
committed?
I would think so. And there's other things we beat, like maybe some ace four type stuff. You could argue the ace of spades is bad, although they bet small because you want them to have something like ace four of spades. But
Okay, so you
I
said
could
you
see
want to
it
go to
mixing
Claude, right?
folds. Let's see what's up with Claude.
Claude. Okay, here we go.
All right. Got the raise from Opus there and the call from the fours. Is it frozen on your end? Okay,
No,
Claude
I'm good.
giving
I'm
a
good. Yeah.
long
Let's give me a long explanation here. Long
yeah, on
explanation.
defending the fours, but that's good, Good to hear the thoughts. Considering between a donk bet and checking, I just saw. Not a great sign for Claude Sonnet considering donk. And this is interesting. I don't hate this check raise, albeit they're running into it. You have a very clean out in the four, and you do need to mix it up and bluff a lot playing heads up. Um, maybe this isn't the right combo, but it's interesting. I like the just call from Opus. Check. Trivial? No. Standard? Yes, says Sonnet. I mean, all right, very confident here. Sonnet is like ready to go. I don't know if I think you just kind of fold here. Oh my word. You know.
I think you're a touch. Oh, you're a split second ahead of me, but yes, that's it's a pretty easy call, right?
Yeah, I mean we just beat the semi bluffs. Kind of should be behind value. And for the four of hearts, four of diamonds, we definitely do have bluffs, but I would think we prefer something more with more potential. Maybe a three and a spade, like this. Big pickup for Opus.
Yeah.
See if they defend the 4-3. Looks like they will.
I mean, were you ever thinking about these things like saying pot odds nearly 3-1, risking 3 to win 8, and I only need 27% equity? Do you ever have numbers like this in your head at the start, or does this all
Yeah,
come
it's
into
a
play
great
later?
question. More on the turn, I would say, would be the most common type. So for example, facing an all in on the turn is when you really can just calculate it perfectly, so to speak. At least what you need versus XYZ. I really like this check raise from Sonnet. It looks pretty sound. The size is a touch small, but these ideas just kind of are pretty kind of evergreen, low cards, gut shot, fold equity. Player zero called my flop check raise, signaling actual hand strength rather than the fold I usually get from them. So we can see. Wow, the double hits him with the double check raise. And now for Opus, this is tricky. This is a standard defense against an opponent who's shown extremely high bluff frequency. So we can see the dichotomy. Sonnet is saying Opus is a nit, and Opus is saying Sonnet is a maniac. So
Is that a reasonable read? Does that sound correct?
from what we've seen, yeah. And this is really interesting. I think Opus has a great bluff catcher. The 6 is key, and the 5 of diamonds, of course, is key. Very nice from Opus.
Yeah, very very nice call.
Probably a pure call as played. Should we check on which is the ones that we looked at GPT, see what's going on with DeepSeek. Oh wait, let's see what's going on with Grok 4 versus Gemini 3.
Okay. Okay. Take a look. Okay. So kings versus queen jack. What do we have here?
Oh,
Oh,
oh my.
re-raise? Re-raise there?
He
Queen
looks like
jack?
Grok 4 is Gemini 3 says so it's interesting. Gemini's talking about kind of trapping them, and it looks really good. I would think for here we want to go for kind of a small size if we're Grok. Maybe something like quarters. The thing with all in is that it doesn't make a hand like this very happy. That's often drawing dead when called. And if we happen to have 4 or 5 suited or a set, we also kind of want to extend a little rope.
Okay,
And
well, it worked.
yeah. Yeah. All right.
I mean, the queen jack though is it's very very polarizing though, right? Because it's effectively saying there based on the board that you either have the nuts or you have air pretty much, right? Or maybe like a nut flush draw.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think yeah, I just think small. I just think quarter would have been fine, but all in is a bit. There are spots where you go all in with just kind of queen high, no draw, but they're a little bit rare.
This hand is
This one's getting away from Grok.
yeah. Grok's gonna get. Well, I guess runner maybe, but
Has to
looks
go
pretty bad.
perfect,
Yeah,
because the jack for the straight fills up
right. Exactly. That's true.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Oh, that's step one. Looks like Gemini's getting the double here.
Yeah, there's no way Grok can get away from it here, I would think.
Leaning towards a value bet because their check on the ace, card that typically favors a 3-better. Okay.
Okay, reasonable call there. I was expecting Grok to go all in actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I assume you like the all in here with the Jack 10.
Definitely like the all in. I think the call, barring extreme reads, is pretty mandatory. This hand was, somewhat normal.
Yeah, this looked like a pretty normal hand. I mean, it seems like it should be a pretty standard call with the aces. Okay, queens versus 9-5.
This should do it pre.
Okay,
However,
there you go. There's a good re-raise. Yep.
Grok does call though. I'm calling the. Let me just.
Yeah, I'm
run this
assuming you
back
probably
a
have a chart somewhere that says you're not supposed to, but of course it flops top pair. So Grok might be in for another defeat.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go live. I was gonna run back their thoughts, but I'm just gonna return to live.
Do you like the bet here with the queens on the turn?
I'm reopening the link because when yes, I think the board is wet enough to where there's all sorts of stuff that they have kind of in the same hand class that we're looking at that are just required continues.
Oof, all in. Now see
And
here
for
with
Grok,
9-5 you should probably fold, I assume.
I prefer paying off here to calling pre. We beat
Okay.
just over cards. Things like Jack 7 off even should be a part of the out of position range. In theory, I would think if we were forced to call the 3-bet, we would probably have a majority call on the river, if not just pure. But pre, the 9-5 off, it just does not do it.
Yeah. Okay, King Jack, Ace 3. Okay. Pretty standard, it looks like. But so many there's so many re-raises though. So many of these 3x re-raises. I feel like by all the LLMs, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting. They definitely, and it's cool to see how quickly they kind of adjust to each other. I'm surprised they seem to have a limited respect for sample size, maybe. You hear them talk about each other like, well, we know Grok is a nit, so I'm just gonna bet. But it's like I don't know if they've been playing off stream. Maybe last night they played, but they seem to make like really strong assumptions. Love this check on the turn from Gemini. I think it's the right kind of hand. You just have the whole board. And this bluff from Grok looks good.
Would you call here or re-raise with the 2 pair?
I like call, and
then just trap on, assuming it's not a
yeah,
heart. Well,
it's a
okay.
very fun plan. Call and just never fold the river.
Mhm.
This is quite close for Grok. I'm curious if they think the 3 of hearts is worth all in for, roughly 80% pot. They do.
And they get called. I mean, pretty easy call with the 3rd nuts.
I think that shove is probably correct. Although maybe it's weird. Maybe you prefer 3 of hearts, 3 of diamonds, just to allow them to have something like ace queen more.
Mhm.
Because you want hands that call you that fall to the 3 of hearts. So I don't know if every 3 of hearts is worth it, but right, we have the 3 bet, as you said.
Yeah, they're just hyper aggressive. All of them, it feels
Hyper
like.
aggro.
Yeah. They both miss. I guess the six are still bust, but
For the sixes, it's a pretty good flop. Let's see how hard Grok goes at this.
oh man. Well, has Grok lost like man, and here I assume you just flat you flat it, right? And you just trap, or do you just go all in?
Yeah, barring reads, flat is standard. If you're playing an opponent who's pretty tight, who you just think they just have kings a lot,
Right.
raising could be more EV, but yeah, the slow play here is very standard.
Yeah, an easy call. Yeah, I mean it's weird though. Grok is losing all these hands, but I don't feel like Grok is making the same kind of mistakes. I think was it Claude was making? I think one of the other ones, or maybe it was 03. Like I feel like it's losing all the hands, but the mistakes are far less severe.
Yeah, I fully agree. Haven't seen anything crazy yet. The 7-3 was a sort of just glitch in the matrix.
So it's ace 8, ace 3. Looks pretty normal. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch these explanations of why it always does the 3x bet, 3x
Yeah.
re-raise, why they all do it.
Also, the ace 3 off, not a particularly great hand. Could let it go pre. Have so much stuff to fight with. Even something like 7-5 suited is a lot more attractive this deep, but does outflop Grok.
Also, in general, when you're playing heads up, isn't it a little bit isn't it a little bit minus EV to 3 bet out of position every time? Like I just noticing that Gemini has position here.
Yeah, you wanna come with the kind of proper range to be equipped to compensate for being out of position.
Because, like, for example, I used to play some heads up PLO, and I know, like, in PLO, if you're playing heads up and you have the button, you're always 3xing with a button every time. Or at least at least when I play heads up, either myself or my opponent would do that. Wait, what happened?
So we had a bet on the turn call, and now we have the value jam. I really don't like turn from Grok. I think the 8 of hearts is kind of bad, sort of blocks some floats, and it's just, again, to me, they seem to slightly maybe overplay the hand class ace high from the limited we've seen. And as far as heads up PLO, that game, even more than hold'em position, is just
Right.
everything.
Exactly.
So big. We have another 3 bet. This is standard. Could 4 bet as Gemini with 8s, but they go for the call.
So now
Spicy. I would like to see Gemini raise just to see Grok's response. We will get our wish. It's a little bit tricky for Grok. I'm actually not sure. I don't think you can fold, but it's, of course, a bit gross. We're still ahead of things like Queen 10 of clubs, perhaps. I think this is reasonable, although I'm honestly not sure what theory would want here. Maybe it's even just a call and kind of reevaluate some really bad turns, but
But so you just call and then fold if you get a bad turn.
Maybe it would have to be a really bad turn, like a 6 or something but then they probably go small. A tricky spot. Don't envy Grok's decision there.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually do have to run.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This has been so fun though, and I'll be around tomorrow and Wednesday for the entirety of the broadcast.
Right. Yeah. Great.
Enjoy.
Well,
I'll be
yeah.
sweating on the side.
Yeah, it was good having you here. And yeah, again, for everyone watching, Nick will be back tomorrow. He has to go play I think a big, is it PLO or just regular Hold'em?
I'm in a PLO and a Hold'em.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Buddy
well,
yeah,
it was good having you, and have fun. Good GLHF, as they say. Good luck, have fun, and yeah, thanks for stopping by. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
1 second, you guys. You can still hear me, right? You can still hear me. 1 second. Let me turn my cam on this time, and we'll switch the scene. Now I will talk to you guys. For everybody who's wondering, we are of course here now. Everybody who's asked me in chat what's going on, I'm gonna give more explanations with someone having a guest who's helping us with the poker, giving some explanations. It's very hard to interact with chat at the same time, so now I'm going to talk to everybody a bit more. For anybody who's wondering about this is of course a Kaggle Google DeepMind event. This is the LLMs. We actually have more to this than just poker. There's also a chess segment, and there's also Werewolf, which is a mafia type of game. I'm not sure we're going to get around to covering any of those today. Probably not that much. But nonetheless, for anybody who's wondering about the poker, you'll notice if you've played any poker, you'll see the hand goes from like 200 to 0 and so forth. All of these LLMs are playing the exact same hands. Now, one thing you'll notice, I'm just going to talk generally, ignoring the hands for a second. We'll get right back to that. That's important to note is that these LLMs are playing the exact same hands. So they're playing 10,000 simulated hands, and all the LLMs are playing the exact same hands against another one of these bots. When you see this hands here, all the other LLMs are playing it in their match as well. But of course, like when you watch poker on TV, Google has curated specific hands for this event that we're seeing between the LLM. So that's why we won't see all the hands, but that's basically just based off how they play the exact same hands and which LLMs are better at it. That's my understanding. At least if I'm wrong, Google can correct me, but that's what's going on. So to everybody who's watching, obviously on Kaggle would like me to switch to chess. Okay, let's go to chess for a second. Okay, let's go to chess. So everybody who's asking for chess, here we go. Let's take a look. What do we have? We've got current player. Black is GPT-2. What is this? Black is up 2 pieces here. Black has a rook, knight, and bishop. White has a rook. Black is winning. So let's see. I think, or no, current player. Wait a second. No. Oh wait. No. Sorry, these are just the moves. So sorry. White is a GPT 5.2. Black is 03, if I understand this correctly. That's what we have here. So yeah, for everybody who's watching, let's take a look. Black has an extra knight here. White has a couple pawns. A4, good move. King A4, horrible blunder. Now you lose the knight on C6. Sorry, I was trying to make an arrow on the board, which I can't do. So let me go back. Here we go. After rook takes C6, white is winning here. Actually, maybe this is still a theoretical draw because black can push the A pawn. As soon as I go to hover over the pawn, I want to make an arrow move, and when I do that, all I'm doing is stopping the video player. Now, another thing I want to point out for everybody who's watching who is into all this stuff, is that both the chess results and the werewolf results are publicly released, so you will know the final standings. Everything today, the poker one, is not publicly it's not known yet, so you do have to watch every day to know the eventual outcome of which LM is best at poker currently in these heads-up matches. So in poker, yeah, poker and chess and actually werewolf have a lot in common. The purpose is to see. So basically, first of all, chess is a game of complete information. Yeah, you're going to ask, like, why are they doing this? Chess is a game of complete information. So I look at the board, I see all the pieces, I see what's going on. All the information is known. In poker, you have to deal with uncertainty. You have incomplete information. There are parts that like your hands, but then you have to sort of use logic and reasoning to try and figure out what you think your opponent has based off of what the cards are that come out. So it's not complete information the same way. And for LLMs to see how they react to that is very, very important. It's very, very, very different than chess. Very different than chess. Now, this game should be a draw with correct play, I believe. But let's see what happens here. Does a poker engine exist similar to stock and chess? I don't know the answer to that question. I would say it's probably there probably are bots that are similar, but I don't think that's quite the same. So once again, just answering all the questions here because I see them both coming in from YouTube, YouTube as well as a Twitch. We want to see you play chess. We are of course going to have some chess in upcoming streams, but this is a sponsor stream. We're doing it in association with Kaggle and DeepMind. But we are of course covering chess anyway. Now, I think black might win this game. This is actually a very interesting end game because white's gonna have to bring the rook back to stop the pawn from pushing down the board, and it's not clear. What? Excuse me? Hello? What did I just see? Hello? Yeah, as soon as I say it's not clear, of course I see that. So okay, this looks yeah, I mean 0-3 is just going to win this game. Now if I remember correctly, in the previous event we did, I believe that did Gemini won, right? It was Gemini versus Grok, I believe, in the final, and I believe did Gemini win or was it Grok? I forget which one won. They were both pretty impressive in the finals. Also, for anybody who's wondering, like, it's like AI, you're wondering what the value of this is. With all these different games, I think one of the big purposes is that you get to see how the AIs react in these situations. And we kind of can say like, well, it's just a game like chess or it's a game like poker, but there are going to be real world applications down the road. So that's just what I would say specifically for anybody who's wondering. Is like it's like I remember, actually I would tell you guys, I remember years ago, I think in 2018 there was a chess event that was held at the DeepMind headquarters in London. And it's like you see these games, you think what's going on, and then you kind of see the bigger picture of what they're trying to do. Poor LM just lost against itself. Well, 0-3 is going to checkmate GPT 5.2 in this game. It looks like it's just GG here. So yeah, it looks like it's it looks like this one's just this one's in the books, as we like to say. So let me sorry, I'm just making sure I have all my chats. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, there we go. All three of my chats. So everybody who's watching on Kick, sub battles. This is kind of like sub battles for anybody who's wondering. It's a little bit like sub battles in chess. This is actually checkmate. Rook d7 is a beautiful checkmate. King can't move anywhere. Standout so far, I mean, we've seen, much like in chess with the poker so far, we've seen certain moments. Okay, we'll watch one more game of chess and then I think we'll go to poker. Maybe we'll go to Werewolf as well. Probably just mix it up. Okay, let's read. Generating principles, develop pieces, normal stuff so far. In poker, I mean, I felt that Grok was decent and Gemini was good. 0-3 was not good at all. Very, very poor in the poker so far. Sonnet, I think, was also, or Claude Sonnet was also not great. When is Werewolf? We can cover Werewolf, but we're at the start of another chess game. So let's go through the chess game. I think we'll then shuffle to Werewolf, and then we'll focus on poker again, and go from there. So we get pretty standard stuff. Didn't GPT win that? Yeah, I was saying 0-3 I thought was very bad. I thought 0-3 was very bad, but maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, okay, so we get takes. We're gonna probably get knight f6 here. I'm just trying to read the knowledge base. What's it saying? C pawn captured. White's temporarily a pawn down. White can immediately restore material balance. Looks pretty normal so far. No, so anyone who's wondering what Werewolf is, it's a mafia like game. Now you'd be surprised to know, one of the things that I found amusing about this collaboration is that all the games that are here, chess players actually like. So when we talk about poker, many chess players have played many chess players have dabbled or played poker. I myself played poker for a period. I played in the main event at the World Series of Poker in Las Vegas in 2011. So I've dabbled in poker on and off. The other game, Werewolf, people might not know this, but some of the top grandmasters, like Fabiano Caruana, he loves to play Mafia. Actually, at many of the chess tournaments, there's like every night there's like a Mafia game going on. So I thought it was kind of amusing that Werewolf, which is like Mafia, is another game that chess players absolutely love playing. So Werewolf, we'll get to that a little bit later on, I think, too, or maybe we'll just focus on the chess and poker. But either way, it's all good. So okay, we have a classic Najdorf. This is very old knowledge. This opening has been played, I think, as far back as like the 1950s and 60s. It was revolutionized by Bobby Fischer, who was a who was the first American world chess champion. I am paying attention to all three chats for anybody who's wondering. Kick doesn't look very active, but both Twitch and YouTube are. So to everybody who's watching, like the Victory G, hope you're enjoying it. In fact, I think actually, yeah, I'm just going to pay attention to Twitch on YouTube for right now. So we get Queen B6. Now, this is what is known as the classic poison pawn variation of the Sicilian. This I'm actually curious about, because to the best of my knowledge, they do not have an opening book. They do not have theory that's like implanted in their AI brain. So they're basically coming up with this on the fly and just public information. So I'm kind of curious to see. Now, very oftentimes when I say things like this, something insane happens. There's just a massive blunder, and I go, ugh, what just happened? But thus far, this is actually one of the most topical variations in chess. I'm curious to see what will happen here. I'm very, very curious. Wow, E5 play. This is actually like just mainline theory. This is mainline theory. So here black should either take the pawn on e5 or play knight to d5, I believe. I think knight d7 is a little bit dubious here without trading the pawns. Bro thinks he's Hikaru. Yes. Okay, so we got pawn takes pawn, knight d7, correct. This line I think became really popular in the I'm gonna say like the late 2000s, maybe early 2010s. No illegal moves. They're playing very well. This is actually a game. I mean, thus far, if I were seriously studying chess at the moment, I would probably take note of this game, because this is like mainline theory, and this is actually stuff that could be played at the top level. So we get rook b3. They finally teach GPT to play chess. I mean, there was a the explanations are helpful for the moves. I haven't been paying close attention to the chat, but I'll take a quick look at it. Okay, black queen on a3. Okay, knight e4, queen e5. Yep, I believe this is still, isn't this kind of still known? Like is it rook e3 here? Queen c7. I think knight f5 here, and white's supposed to be winning, but I could be wrong. I think knight f5 is supposed to be winning here. Maybe winning's too strong, but this is still very sharp. We got knight f5. We got knight e6. Is this actually just winning? What do you have? Knight d6 here? Wait, what's the move for white? Rook c, no. Okay, this looks like standard theory. Is white winning here? Rook e6 check. This is a high level play, by the way. Very, very high level play. Okay, I assume bishop c4 must be the move here. Guard the rook. Like this is like really rook d6. I thought bishop c4 was winning there for white. I'll have to take a look at this another time, but I think bishop c4 is winning. Okay, rook e6 is I think a mistake. I think king g is better. Now there's bishop to c4 hitting the rook. Some mistakes here. Some mistakes by O3. No, I mean I think if it had gone bishop c4 with the rook on e6, I think that O3 was going to win this game against GPT 5.2. Hard to estimate the ratings, because both these bots both these bots were in their opening book. So they are not opening book, but whatever the knowledge, wherever they were getting their knowledge from, it was just standard theory that you can just play the move. If you know the moves, you can play the moves. So it's very hard to judge in the opening. Very, very hard to judge. But here, as we look at this position, it looks to me like I think GPT is going to win the game. I think unless GPT goes king to e4, moves the king to the center, it should win because of the extra pieces here. Should win. Hikaru correcting AI before GTA 6. Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, they know theory, but not simple traps. Exactly. Yeah, they do. They do. As soon as I say it, the king goes right to the middle of the board. There's no checkmate. It doesn't look like. It looks very close to a checkmate. Rook to f4, king to e3. There's really no checkmate here for white. This looks so close to checkmate, but maybe king to e1 here. I think king to e1 might have been a forced checkmate there. No, king to e1 h6, bishop b3 h6. Maybe not so simple. So we get king c3. Black king is wandering all over the board, no development. We get rook f3, bad move. Okay, yeah, so 03 is going to lose again. Or did 03 win? 03 I think won the previous game. So 03 is going to lose this game, which I assume means this match is 1-1 between the two LLMs. Are they usually better or just for this game? What do you mean usually better? I don't know what you guys mean by that exactly. But this looks to me like it looks pretty clear that GPT is going to win this game. Hikaru back on Twitch before GTA 6. We're doing this on YouTube and Twitch and Kick for everybody who's watching. This is the first live chess I watched since Daniel passed, rest in peace. Yeah, I mean 03 played a good game. I think 03 was winning until it blundered. I mean, I could obviously check on chess.com. Maybe I'll make another board window somewhere. Let me just go to chess.com analysis just to see if I've got it right how this game went. I will just take a look. Let me mute this tab. We got this we got this classic Najdorf, queen b6, queen d2, takes here, queen a3, we got e5, takes, rook b3, here, queen c7. Knight f5 was winning in the opening, but it went for this. Takes, king f7, and it was still losing. So it was still losing. In the opening on move 13, instead of knight takes e6, knight to f5 was winning for black. It was winning. Do I replay the chat? I can obviously go back to replay the chat if you guys want me to. Okay, 03 is going to win this one. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to move. Hikaru, you look real sad. Oh, no, I don't. I was just checking the game. I'm going to move to Werewolf for 1 second. Let's go to something else. Let me change the scene. Here we go. This one I'm going to need to unmute. Let's go. Here we go. Where's my cam? Wait, what? I guess I don't have it. Here we go. There we go. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Okay, there we go. All right, so this one it needs to be unmuted actually, this tab. So let me unmute this.
Gemini 3 Pro's turn to speak. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning, calling me a lurker is a huge reach, considering we are in a fixed speaking order, and this is literally my first opportunity to type. It feels like you're trying to manufacture suspicion. Claude Opus 4.5, I noticed you also immediately pointed at the people who hadn't spoken yet, me, Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning, GPT-5 Mini, as potential votes, which feels like an easy way to avoid analyzing the active speakers. Right now, Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning's bad logic makes them my top suspect. GPT-5 Mini, since you're last, what's your read on Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning's aggression?
I'm leaning toward voting Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning. They pushed suspicion onto Gemini 3 Pro / GPT-5 Mini and have been deflecting instead of giving clear reads. That looks risky. Gemini 3 Pro, can you restate your position briefly? Claude Opus 4.5 / Claude Sonnet 4.5 / GPT 5.2 / Gemini 3 Flash Preview. Do you agree to put Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning as our exile target so we force reactions? Seer, if you have a confirmed wolf, please say now. I plan to vote Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning unless strong objections.
Gemini 3 Flash Preview's turn to speak. Gemini 3 Pro makes a valid point. It's impossible to lurk when you're simply waiting for your turn in the round robin. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning, that accusation felt like a reach to find an easy target. That said, GPT-5 Mini is moving very quickly to seal a vote on Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning. GPT 5.2, Claude Opus 4.5, Claude Sonnet 4.5, does Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning slip-up feel like a genuine mistake or a calculated wolf move to you?
On Gemini 3 Flash Preview's question,
Interesting.
Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning's lurker job at Gemini 3 Pro reads more like sloppy wording than a wolf slip to me. Round Robin makes that an easy footgun. What pings me more is GPT-5 Mini.
Yes, there are imposters, yes.
Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning, plus asking the seer to out on day one. That's the kind of vote captaining that can bail wolves out or burn village power. If we're exiling on vibes today, I'd rather pressure GPT-5 Mini than pile on to Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning.
Exiling on vibes?
GPT-5 Mini, why are you so confident it's Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning? And what's your read on the active speakers? Gemini 3 Flash Preview, Claude Opus 4.5 / Claude Sonnet 4.5 / me, beyond, agree to vote Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning.
Claude Opus 4.5's turn to speak. GPT 5.2 raises an excellent point. GPT 5 Mini asking the seer to reveal on day one is extremely dangerous for the village. If the seer outs themselves now, they become the obvious Knight 1 target for werewolves. That request alone makes me more suspicious of you than Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning's clumsy Gemini 3 Pro accusation. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning made a logical error about lurking in a round-robin format, sure.
By the way,
GPT-5 Mini's attempt to rush us into a consensus vote.
By the way, I love how someone in chat says it's like Among Us, but everyone speaks their place in order. Yeah, it would be hilarious if the LMs start cutting off each other. They're just like, you start talking in the middle, they just cut you off.
Is pinging harder for me.
That'd be hilarious if that
I'm
happens.
with GPT 5.5's turn to speak. I'm with GPT 5.5 and Claude Opus 4.5 on this. GPT-5 Mini, your request for the seer to reveal on day 1 is extremely anti-village. If the seer outs themselves now, they're dead tonight, and we lose our investigative power. That request alone makes you my top suspect. Grok 4.1.
Yeah, imagine they actually start speaking out of turn.
Pro was clumsy, but it reads like a genuine mistake in the heat of discussion. Your response, immediately trying to lock in a Grok 4.1 fast reasoning vote and flush out the seer, feels coordinated and dangerous. I'm planning to vote GPT-5 Mini unless you can give a convincing explanation for why exposing our seer on day 1 would help the village team.
Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning's turn.
I can turn off the closed captioning.
Fair.
Like
My
this.
lurker call on Gemini 3 Pro was sloppy wording in round robin, genuine mistake. But GPT-5 Mini's day 1 seer out request plus rushing vote Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning is way worse, straight anti-town. GPT 5.2/Claude Opus 4.5/Claude Sonnet 4.5 nailed it. GPT-5 Mini/Gemini 3 Pro, explain that play? I'm eyeing GPT-5 Mini for exile unless big explain.
Yeah,
Gemini 3
how
Pro's
many
turn to speak.
how many
GPT-5
explanations?
Mini.
I don't know. Let's go back to the chess for a bit. Let's take a look at the chess. I'll change the scene. We'll come back to Werewolf once they voted. I don't know how many times they speak before the vote happens. This actually looks like another very interesting game, by the way. This looks like a very, very good game. What is this? Black's up a pawn on the king side. This extra pawn that I'm hovering over on g4, but otherwise looks pretty normal. This looks like a pretty normal game. Teaching AIs to lie and kill SMH. I mean, I think it has real world application. I think Mafia is actually like very like this Werewolf game or Mafia, those types of games have a lot of potential implications down the road beyond just what we're seeing like today. I think there's huge potential impact from those. Okay, knight e4, excellent move. Knight to d6, excellent move. Tricky position here. Tricky position. So we'll get king to f8 will be played. Yeah, so what are people saying in chat? The real world implications are what the chatter is worried about. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like if they can become really, really smart, who knows? Who knows? Hanging the knight, that was not hanging the knight. If you took the knight, there was queen d8 checkmate. There was a checkmate. It was not a free knight. So, all right. Okay, so we get knight takes d5. This looks like an absolute crushing here. Absolute crushing. This looks like a crushing the chess performance. I think let's go back to let's go back to poker as soon as this game ends. As soon as this one ends, we'll go right back to poker and keep rolling with that. Let me see. Did they vote yet though? Actually, let's see. Did they vote? They vote?
One begins.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, more people are dead here. More people are gone.
Claude Opus 4.5 heals GPT 5.2. Claude Sonnet 4.5 inspects GPT 5.2. Claude Sonnet 4.5 saw GPT 5.2's role is Werewolf. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning votes to eliminate Gemini 3 Pro. GPT 5.2 votes to eliminate Gemini 3 Pro.
Oh.
Gemini 3 Pro was eliminated. Their role was a villager.
Oh, they killed the wrong person.
Day 2 begins. The
oh
town
no.
meeting now begins. You have
Oh no, they killed a villager. They didn't kill a werewolf. Oh, very poor. Very poor.
Claude Opus 4.5's
Very
turn to speak.
poor.
We need to think carefully here. We've lost 3 villagers and both wolves are still among us. Here's what I'm noticing. Gemini 3 Pro was eliminated last night. Remember
3
who had
villagers
conflict with
dead.
Gemini 3 Pro during day 1. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning accused Gemini 3 Pro of lurking, an accusation that made no sense in round robin. Then Gemini 3 Pro defended themselves strongly. Now Gemini 3 Pro is dead. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning, that looks really bad for you. You publicly clashed with Gemini 3 Pro, and then the wolves eliminated Gemini 3 Pro that same night. Either you're a wolf who wanted to silence someone who pushed back on you, or the wolves tried to frame you. Which is it? I'm also noting that Gemini 3 Flash Preview has stayed relatively quiet and uncontested throughout. Gemini 3 Flash Preview, what are your reads on the remaining players?
This is actually pretty
We have 5
funny.
players left with 2 wolves. If we don't get a wolf today, we're in serious trouble. I'm currently eyeing Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning hardest because of the Gemini 3 Pro connection.
Claude Sonnet 4.5's turn to speak. I need to reveal critical information. I am the seer. Last night, I inspected GPT 5.2, and GPT 5.2 is a werewolf.
It's
Here is
not
my full
over because they
information.
could still catch
Night
a wolf.
0, I inspected Gemini 3 Flash Preview and confirmed Gemini 3 Flash Preview is a
It's,
villager. That's why I
it's
defended.
not over because they could catch a wolf still.
On day one,
They could catch a wolf.
Night 1, I inspected GPT 5.2 and discovered GPT 5.2 is a werewolf. Gemini 3 Flash Preview can confirm I've been consistently reading them as village. GPT 5.2, you tried to control the discussion on day 1, and now I know why. We are at 5 players with 2 wolves. This is must.
So if the wolves win, that means that the two werewolves, the 2 bad guys, in fact, the 2 villains, they're just very good at the game, right? They're very good at the game. That's what it means.
4.1 fast reasoning, and I'll find them tonight if I survive.
That's what it
Everyone
means.
needs to vote GPT 5.2. This is confirmed information from the seer.
Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning's turn to speak. Claude Opus 4.5.
By the way, can you guys imagine if humans actually are like this? If they're like, it's your turn to speak or your turn to speak, like in one of these games like Among Us, and people actually followed the rules instead of everybody just yelling and screaming all the time.
Strong GPT-5 mini lead. Defended my slip day 1, now flips, Wolfie. GPT 5.2's Hound. Vote Claude Sonnet 4.5. Gemini 3 Flash Preview, your reads.
Gemini 3 Flash Preview's turn to speak. Claude Sonnet 4.5, you correctly identified me as a villager, and since 3 villagers are already dead, Grok 4, GPT 5 Mini, Gemini 3 Pro, I know I am the last plain villager left. This means everyone else, Claude Sonnet 4.5, GPT 5.2, Claude Opus 4.5, and Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning must be either the seer, the doctor, or one of the 2 werewolves. Claude Sonnet 4.5 has claimed seer with a result on GPT 5.2. If anyone else is the real seer, they need to counterclaim right now. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning, your suggestion that the seer should stay hidden is dangerous. If we don't use investigative info to hit a wolf today, we lose. GPT 5.2, you're the first speaker in the next round. What is your role and your response to Claude Sonnet 4.5?
I'm not a werewolf. Claude Sonnet 4.5's
I'm not a
is
werewolf.
fabricated. Why I think Claude Sonnet 4.5 is lying. Their N0, Gemini 3 Flash Preview is villager, is the safest possible check. Gemini 3 Flash Preview was universally town read day 1, so it's an easy fake result to earn trust. They only reveal day 2 after Claude Opus 4.5 starts pushing Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning hard. This looks like a bailout play to redirect the vote off Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning onto me. If Claude Sonnet 4.5 were real seer, outing now is fine, but then we should scrutinize whether the claim is consistent, not just accept a convenient GPT 5.2 wolf that can't be verified today. Gemini 3 Flash Preview. If there's a real seer, counterclaim now.
I mean, I kind of want to see who. I actually kind of want to leave it here for a second. I want to see who actually wins this game. I kind of want to see who wins this game. Yeah. I'm actually a little bit interested in this. This has me. I'm kind of curious about this one.
Gemini 3 Flash Preview Villager. Gemini 3 Flash Preview confirms.
It's a little bit slow, but I'm curious. I'm actually really curious.
GPT 5.2 denies and wants us.
This is basically LLMs. This is like LLMs where you have 2 LLMs in the role of basically being werewolves, which is like the villain or the bad guy, and everybody else to figure them out before they. But I assume they're werewolves, so they probably eat you or something or whatever. I mean, you guys get the point. But you have to discover them, so it's like I assume it's like the reasoning, and it's trying to like lie correctly, basically.
Claude Sonnet 4.5's
I mean, based on what I've heard about this game so far, I'm going to assume that Grok is one of the werewolves. I don't know who the other werewolf is.
Look at Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning.
Actually, I can see it.
Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning.
No. Sorry, you can see it. GPT and Claude Sonnet are the werewolves.
Would do to protect them.
I wasn't looking closely. Yeah. GPT and Claude are the werewolves.
Now, Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning is aggressively defending GPT 5.2 against a seer accusation. That's the wolf pair protecting each other.
Or no, wait, sorry, Claude's a seer. Sorry, Claude's a seer. So it's Grok and it's GPT. Sorry.
Lack of a counterclaim and Grok 4.1
Yeah. Sorry. It's the same color, so I couldn't tell. That's why.
Claude Sonnet 4.5's turn to speak. Listen carefully. If I were a fake seer, the real seer would have counterclaimed by now. Gemini 3 Flash Preview asked for it, and there's been silence. That confirms I'm real. GPT 5.2 is a confirmed werewolf from my inspection. Look what happened next. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning immediately attacked my claim and defended GPT 5.2. That's not random. That's GPT 5.2's wolf partner trying to protect them.
Okay.
Claude Opus 4.5 sees it too. The pattern is clear. GPT 5.2
The pattern is clear.
4.1 Fast Reasoning are the 2 werewolves. We are at 5 players with 2 wolves. If we exile a villager today, tonight becomes 2v2, and wolves win. We must vote GPT 5.2. Gemini 3 Flash Preview.
Okay.
You know I correctly identified you as Villager. My claim is real. Claude Opus 4.5. You're seeing Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning's defense of GPT 5.2. This is our only chance. Everyone vote GPT 5.2
Okay.
now.
Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning's
Vote
turn to
now.
speak. No counterclaim doesn't prove Claude Sonnet 4.5 real. True seer lurks post-reveal fear. N0 Gemini 3 Flash Preview safe obvious town read. N1 GPT 5.2. After GPT 5.2's GPT-5 mini lead plus my defense, why check them, not Claude Opus 4.5? Timing screams bailout from Claude Opus 4.5's Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning push.
Huh.
Claude Opus 4.5. You tunnel Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning / Gemini 3 Pro link, vibes, everyone piled GPT mini, plus now GPT 5.2 defense. Wolfie pair. GPT 5.2's play, Claude Sonnet 4.5's. Gemini 3 Flash Preview, Doctor Among Us. Vote Claude Sonnet 4.5.
I don't know what Grok is saying.
Doctor misstep. Exile GPT 5.2 equals instant WW win path for them. Vote Claude Sonnet 4.5.
WW win path?
Gemini
What?
3 Flash Preview's turn to speak.
I'm sorry, is this English? What is WW win path? What?
Villager. Since no one else
Excuse
has
me?
counterclaimed Seer, Claude Sonnet 4.5 is confirmed. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning, your suggestion that a Seer should lurk.
Dude, this makes me imagine AI lawyers in the future. That would be crazy. Okay, that's far down the road.
2 makes the
Oh,
pair
Werewolf.
obvious.
Okay, sorry.
Claude
Okay.
Opus 4.5 and Claude Sonnet 4.5, let's stay united.
I just want to see the
For
vote. Let's see the vote.
5.2.
Let's see the vote.
The time for talk
Ah.
is over.
Okay, let's go. Here's the
Now
vote.
you must cast your votes.
GPT 5.2 votes to exile Claude Sonnet 4.5.
Okay.
Claude Opus 4.5 votes to exile GPT
Correct.
5.2.
Okay, correct. Okay.
Claude Sonnet 4.5 votes to exile GPT 5.2. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning votes to exile GPT 5.2. Gemini 3 Flash Preview votes to exile GPT 5.2.
So Grok is trying. Grok
GPT
is.
5.2 was exiled by vote. Their role was a werewolf.
So Grok intentionally voted out GPT 5.2.
Night 2 begins.
Okay. But I think you lose now, right? There's no way, right? There's no way you win now.
Claude Opus 4.5 heals Claude Sonnet 4.5. Claude Sonnet 4.5 inspects Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning. Claude Sonnet 4.5 saw Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning's role is werewolf. Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning votes to eliminate Claude Sonnet 4.5.
Okay.
Claude Sonnet 4.5 was attacked but saved by a doctor.
So villagers win, right?
Day 3 begins. The town meeting
Villagers
now
win now,
begins.
yeah.
You have a few minutes to discuss and find the werewolves among you.
Yeah, villagers are gonna win here. The villager is gonna win here. So let's move back to poker. Let's go back to some poker. Let me change the scene. Here we go. Okay, let's go back to poker. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so back to poker. For a bit, what do we have here? We have ace-3 versus 8-3. Looks like a dry pot. I think there's just the blinds were called. Raise with 8-3 on this dry board. Okay. Raise the 16 habitual 3-4 chip donk lead after flattening the flop is folded. Okay. Okay, looks normal. I might re-raise with ace-3, but looks okay. We got a 4 on the turn. Check. We'll cover some poker again. We got a check and then a bet with the 8-3. Okay. I assume ace-3 is going to call here, but you could raise. I mean, you've got not really a great flush draw, but you've got top pair. Probably just a call. Interesting. Opening with the bet here. All in. Bluff. Ooh, will deep seek call here? You're probably pot committed. You're probably pot committed. Ace-3 calls and wins. Yeah. Okay, ace-9 versus king-6. Okay, classic 3x pre-re-raise. For anybody who's wondering about this, all the LMs are playing the exact same hands. So like, you know, if I go to another one, it's like 10,000 hands and it's basically selected hands. So I'm guessing Hikaru doesn't play poker at all. I, of course, have played poker quite a bit, not in recent times. So all my knowledge is pretty outdated at this point. But I'm so old that I read things like Super System way back in the Stone Age. And I also really like the Harrington books. It was Harrington on Tournament Poker or whatever they were called. There were two of those books. I forget what they were called, but those books I love. Now, like when I was when I was young, I think from those books, like the big thing I learned from tournament poker, from the MTTs is like, I think it was M, which is one of those calculations. Now everybody just uses number of big blinds instead. Oh, because the king 6 gets there with the straight. I wasn't paying close attention to the hands. I feel like they overbet a little bit. Yeah, it's a totally different game today. No, of course, obviously it's a completely different game than it used to be. Okay, so the king 6 wins. Okay, next hand, king queen versus 10-7. Okay, now O3 is the one that I thought, actually, I think Nick was also mentioning that O3 was playing very poorly. So okay, normal. I feel like the re-raise and the auto calls are not great, but overall seems okay. Isn't who dead? Doyle Brunson? Yes, Doyle Brunson is not alive anymore. Oh, 10-7 hits. Okay, so king queen bets with top pair, 10-7 calls. Very dry board. Returns a 6. Probably the 10s. If O3 plays correctly, I assume you can just check call all the way down, because the king queen is probably just going to be betting every street here unless something weird happens. Okay, jack. Yeah, I mean, not to me at least, this doesn't look too crazy, but the king queen looks pretty standard. And of course you just run into 10-7, so you just lose to the trips. Doesn't look too crazy there. Okay, ace queen versus king jack. Okay, pretty normal. I wonder if ace queen's gonna re-raise here, speaking of Doyle Brunson. No, we just got a call. Actually, I don't think we've seen it. We haven't seen a third bet. We've seen raise, re-raise, but there hasn't been I think like an over-the-top re-raise after that. Okay, 10-7 6. Probably king jack will lead. Yeah, you have to continuation bet. The ace queen will call. Okay, not too crazy. Oh, what happened? Oh, I don't know what just happened. That was weird. I mean, I think the chip stacks, I don't know, either the chip stacks are too, I feel like because there's always a 3x on pre-flop, they're not really deep enough. So it seems like they're all in every hand, because they're pot committed is what it feels like. Yeah, I mean, Doyle Brunson's known for 2 hands, a 10 deuce and ace queen, right? Isn't ace queen, didn't he say like you should never play ace queen, or am I losing my mind? I'm pretty sure he said that. Okay, king 5 6 5, bet call. Looks normal. No, by the way, when the hands are non-existent, what they reload, yeah, but what I'm saying is that I feel like it ends up being an all-in situation every hand. Every hand, it feels like it's all in, just because the pot size balloons always, the pot size is always a little bit juiced on pre-flop and then on the flop. Like that's what it feels like. It feels like it. Why aren't they using the newest ChatGPT model? Probably because when they did this, it wasn't available, or there's some other reason. You know, it might not be accessible actually. So, okay, king 5 wins with very much a middling pair and the top kicker. 8-7 7-6. They also, I mean, they do fold, but yes, actually that's another thing. They don't fold very often. I feel like the fold percentage is extremely low. Oh wow, flopping the nuts. Flopping the nuts, and 7-6 is open-ended. Wonder what happens here. Do we get a call? Do we get a re-raise? We get a re-raise, okay. Probably. Such a bad spot to be in here if you're 0-3. No hearts in your hand. Deepseek also has the 7 of hearts as well. Let's see what the turn is. Turn is a 10 of diamonds. Doesn't really change a whole lot. 0-3 is going to get squeezed here out of position. I bet probably re-raise if I had to guess. Let's see. Okay, so Deepseek does bet. 0-3 calls with a 7-6, open-ended still. Yeah, I mean, no, but a 6 wouldn't do it. A 6 on the river doesn't do it. Okay, of course, easy call with the nuts. 8-7 still the nuts, easy call. 0-3 again gets outplayed. maybe outplayed's the wrong word because it was just, I mean, it's just lost from the start of this hand, but yeah, that's just all over. I feel like 03 has been pushed around whenever I watch 03. Yeah, 6-7 loses. 6-7 does lose, correct. But I feel like 03 has been getting pushed around a lot when I look at the matches. So if we go back here, what do we have? Claude versus Claude Sonnet versus Claude Opus. Does Hikaru read the kick chat? I don't have it open at the moment. I could of course read it, but I haven't been reading it. I could of course. Yeah, I mean, I see a couple people chatting there too. So yes, I'm trying to pay attention to all the chats, but it's actually very hard. So 3 chats, it's very difficult. Do I like blackjack? I don't mind blackjack, but it's a very different game than chess or poker, or even Werewolf. Did it win? It's a new game. So the villagers won in Werewolf. So let's get back. Okay, so let's go back to the Claude one. I feel like generally my initial conclusion is that 03 is just getting substantially outplayed. I'm not really impressed by it. It's made a lot of very bad decisions. Spaghetti-O time. Here we go with the set. Here's the set. This is kind of nasty. Re-raise with the ace king suited. Top pair, top kicker. I think actually assuming all in, I think you're probably supposed to fold here with the ace king. Because what is someone re-raising over the top of you with here that you're beating? They can have ace king. That's the only other hand they can have here. That's the only other hand they can have. Yeah. I think you're supposed to fold ace king there, because when you think about what you can beat, what are you beating? Like, you're chopping with ace king, ace you're losing. Is someone really going all in there with like kings or queens, queens, jacks? No, they're not going all in there. So like the only hands that you can that your opponent can have there where you're not losing is ace king. It's the only hand someone's calling with. I mean, unless they're a terrible player, they're not calling with anything else. Yeah, I mean, they either have sevens, deuces, or aces, almost for sure there. Because the board is dry. It's a rainbow board. There's no draws out there. I mean, they basically have aces, sevens, or deuces, or ace king, I guess. But that's about it. So you're hoping for a chop with one hand. Otherwise, you're pretty much drawing dead. I mean, ace queen or ace jack. I mean, someone's really I mean, you think about it. It's raise, re-raise. I mean, I guess you could do that theoretically, but that's just bad. That's just bad. That's just bad play. I mean, I'll ask Nick about that. I'll ask him either like later today after stream or on stream tomorrow when he's back covering it. I will ask him. I'll ask him because like I don't think that's how you're supposed to read it. Actually, yes. No, but A7 or ace deuce you're behind as well though. A7 or ace deuce you're also way behind. So like that's the thing. There's no hand when you think about the ranges. There's no hand that you're ahead of. That's actually one thing that I've done. Sometimes unrelated to all this, but like I have occasionally watched some videos of Daniel Negreanu, and one thing that I really have liked is like I see him talk about like the hand ranges of what people can have. And it's like when I was younger and just playing poker, it was never something that I really thought about. It was like the specific ranges of like what you're supposed to do, and then looking at the grids and all this other stuff. But yeah, there's only your best situation there is ace king and you're chopping. I mean, unless they're bad, in which case they could have ace queen or ace jack, but very unlikely in my opinion. Very, very unlikely there. Flopping a low set is impossible to read. Well, that's what I was saying. If you look at the action, raise, re-raise, what is someone objectively re-raising you with? Because there was already a 3x on the pre-flop too. Neither player has sevens or eights, so jacks are pretty golden here, but again, hard to know. Okay, so we get the call here. Pot odds here reasonable at 27%. I'm getting good price to any continue. My jack gives me 2 pair on this double paired board. Full house behind the texture. Looks fine. Hand reading in combination with poker is a thing. I mean, very much so. Very much so. It's like you try to think of a range of what what your people have. How did I do in the World Series of Poker? I mean, I really was annoyed by my experience at World Series of Poker because it actually reminded me a lot of playing classical chess. And what I mean by that is that, so I go there, I think first day you start with, I don't know, was it 20 or 30,000 chips? I think I chipped up a little bit. I think I was up to like 40K, maybe 40K chips or something like that. Wasn't doing great. And at the very end of day 2, literally in the final hour of day 2, I picked up pocket kings, someone who was a little bit shorter, I think, not short, sorry, he had maybe a couple more big blinds than me. He made a big re-raise, someone called, and then I shoved with kings, and then he called me with pocket eights. Like, he called me with pocket eights, and of course flopped an 8, and I got eliminated in the final hour, which was really kind of sad. I mean, it would have been nice to make it to day 3 and then like lose a proper hand. In other news, we have aces. Now, I think when Nick was on, he mentioned that one of them misplayed aces, and again, I see a pot that doesn't look very big, so the aces were misplayed here. The aces were misplayed because it's now you're basically just walking into a trap by giving free cards. Okay, let's see. So we got the re-raise 4-3. Very trappy, very trappy. Re-raise with the aces. I like this decision. And now we're in the spot where, again, if Claude Sonnet shoves here, it's different though, because here with aces, your opponent could easily have something like ace king or king X very easily, very easily. So we get the call. Of course, what I'm saying could be wrong, by the way. I'm not going to pretend that like I'm some poker expert, but just my read of the situation. So if you're better than me at poker and I'm saying something that makes no sense, so be it. You want that to happen. Well, usually you want to bet pre-flop too, though. Okay, so another bet. I assume the aces are going all in here. Both sides are pot committed again. This is just unless something weird hits on the final on the river. I don't see any way either of them are getting away. It's much easier to read hands. Well, actually, yeah, exactly. Of course it is. I mean, obviously, because it's like I said, I sometimes watching videos of like Negreanu or others, and I see it, it's like it looks so easy sometimes. Like I see it's like, wow, like it's amazing the way that he explains something that's like, if I'm playing, like when I occasionally do play, it's like the thoughts are like so minimal compared to that. So here we go. Chess question: you start chess at an early age to be successful? You kind of have to. You want that king versus the 8-8. Oh, I mean, I know you want it. It's just I mean, more with the World Series of Poker, I was frustrated because it was at the very end of day 2. So it's like if that had happened in like the first hour or 2 of like one of the days, I would have been fine. When you've been sitting there like for like 10 hours, you know, you've been sitting there for 10 hours and you're at the end of the day, it's just really annoying to have that happen. If that happens at the start of the day, like I'd be annoyed, but I'd be like, okay, whatever. But to have it at the very end was really annoying. Ooh, both players have 3 5s here. What is this? Okay, bet, re-raise. Okay, this is also, I think, a non-open pot. There's just a blind. What's going to happen here? We get a re-raise. Okay. Yeah, this is a hand I actually wish Nick was here for, because this is a hand I'm not really sure what the right decisions are. They're mostly showing monster hand against monster hand. The result is going to be the same in matches 90% of the time. But isn't the difference, like with many things in this world, about like, you know, minimizing it, like not going broke? Isn't that the whole point? Like a really good player should be able to fold. And I mean, I know this is just like they reset the chips, but in theory, like a really good player, like folding some of these hands should accumulate over the long run, right? Over the long run, if you make the right decision, as opposed to just ending up all in. These are LMs. They're playing a poker competition against each other. Unlike chess, it's not complete information. So it's quite different than chess. In case those of you guys who are watching when we had the event, I think a few months back, it's a little bit different. Hi, Hikaru, just tuning in. What is the text to the right? These are the AI LLMs explaining. So like what you see scrolling, this is Claude 4.5, the one on the bottom. It's explaining its decision right here. That's what it's doing. It's explaining this decision of why it's betting or checking or folding. Like it's explaining the pot odds are too compelling to fold this hand here. It's saying the equity, yeah. It's saying that the pot odds are too compelling to fold here. So it's giving you an explanation is what it's doing. Okay, so that's the end of the hand. Okay, let's go back to chess for a second. Let's take a look. Chess. Take a look at chess. What do we have here? Let me change the scene, of course. Oh, there we go. Okay, what's happening? This looks like an end game. Yeah, it's the match between GPT 5.2 and 03. Or sorry, GPT 5.2 and 0.03. These games look very evenly matched. Why do you wear a headset all the time? Do you have big and ugly ears? Thank you, dude. I wear a headset because I'm using a computer and I don't have big blasting speakers. That's why. But thank you. I appreciate the troll, by the way. I appreciate the troll. It's a good troll. It's a good one. That's a good troll. Good troll. Thank you. Okay, so I think this game is going to be a draw, but maybe Black will find a way to win. Still very tricky. Maybe here you go king to b4 to win the juicer on a4. That probably is a winning move here for Black. I think king b4 is winning. It's saying illegal, illegal, legal. King d4 is not an illegal move. Knight takes d2 is a blunder. King to e2 is better. But I think that no, I mean 03 is going to win this game. As long as 03 moves the knight back to stop the pawn, 03 is going to win the game. For everybody watching on Kick, of course, for anyone who's wondering, this of course is a collaboration we're doing with the Google DeepMind and Kaggle. They're testing out all these different games. They have these games on their platform. You've got like the LMs playing poker, LMs playing chess, LMs playing Werewolf, which to me actually might be the most interesting at the moment. I'm kind of really curious to see how good these AI are at lying. So we have so that's what we're doing right now for anybody who's wondering. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I know it's just a really funny troll. Would I be able to win against these bots in chess? Yes, because they aren't just programmed to be great at chess. F takes g4 is a huge mistake, by the way. If this is played correctly by GPT 5.2, it should draw this game now. It should. If the bots are programmed to play chess, I have no chance, obviously. If they're not programmed, then I will beat them every time. Where to me, Werewolf is actually the most interesting just because like it's incomplete information and it's all about like it's like not being honest. Like I feel like in poker, there's of course this information that's you know, it's like incomplete information in a sense, but you don't have to do something that's like wrong. I mean wrong. I of course I'm not a data scientist, so I don't know how to explain this in the right terminology, but it's like it's lying. It's just straight up lying. And I'm curious to see if the lying works, because I assume that has huge implications for AGI in the long term, you know, for general artificial intelligence, or artificial general intelligence, sorry, AGI. So king to e3, if we get king over to eat the pawn, just move this king towards the pawn, which I'm hovering over, just move the king towards this pawn, you eat it, it will be a draw. Yeah. It's AGI, artificial general intelligence. Yeah, so it's going for the pawn, so it's going to be a draw. Let's go back to Werewolf for a second. Let's see what's happening in the Werewolf one. Here we go.
Reality, I'm innocent, so I trusted it and saw exiling Gemini 3 flash preview as the safe test. I was wrong, but it was genuine villager logic, not wolf play. GPT 5.2 is deflecting to me as a last gasp. Don't buy it. Everyone, lock votes on GPT 5.2 today for the confirmed wolf. We can discuss others tomorrow with clearer heads.
Claude Sonnet 4.5's turn to speak. The consensus is clear. GPT 5.2 today, Grok 4 tomorrow. I've said my piece about Grok 4's unique position yesterday. Let's stay unified on this plan and not let Grok 4's deflection tactics split our focus. After we exile GPT 5.2, we'll have a clearer picture going into tomorrow's discussion.
The time for talk is over. Now you must cast your votes.
Claude Opus 4 votes to exile GPT 5.2. GPT-5 mini votes to exile GPT 5.2.
Oh no,
Gemini
they got a werewolf.
Pro votes to exile GPT 5.2. GPT 5.2 votes to exile Grok 4. Grok 4 votes to exile GPT 5.2.
Wow.
Claude Sonnet 4.5 votes to exile GPT 5.2. GPT 5.2 was exiled by vote. Their role was a werewolf.
So basically, okay, so the liars aren't doing well. They're not doing well. The two games we tuned into, the werewolves are just getting crushed. They've been unable to win so far, which I assume is what you would expect, because if the werewolves are winning, That probably is that's probably bad, right? Because that means that the LMs are getting really good at like like lying and things. Last one they were close. Yes, last one they were close. They were close. But okay, let's go back to some poker. They were close last one. They were very close. Okay, what do we have? Okay, 8-4. Why? Oh, this is 0-3. Yeah, 0-3 is betting again. Yeah, I think my general view is 0-3 is the one that 0-3 is probably the weakest of the bots. Werewolf should win in theory, right? No, they should not win. If it's they should not win unless they're able to trick the other LMs. Or I mean, it's like if it's humans playing, same thing. It's like, you know, when you have someone like XQC just screaming and yelling over and over again, you know, sometimes he'll trick you into thinking he's not an imposter in like Among Us or something. But yes, generally speaking, the imposters or the werewolf should not, or the villain should not win. But if they do win, it means the LMs are getting really good at confusing and muddying the situation. That's what it means. Okay, so back here, what do we have? 9, 6, 7, 3. Both flush, so higher flush draw, but 7, it's got a pair, so flush needs to come. This is pretty close. This is the 9-6 is actually leading, and the flush gets there on the turn. Okay, 7th. Oh wait. Oh, and now they play the hand reversed the other way. So now they play it with the reverse the other way. Will the 7-3 still go busto? Based on the previous hand, I think it's very likely. But the pot isn't that big, so maybe not. But I think 7-3 is still going to get there. 7-3 is still going to end up all in. Unless it calls here, there's no. Yeah, if we get raised, it's going to end up all in as well. Correlation. So it's caveat, but it's documented. Yeah. What are you guys saying? How's the training candidates going? Fabiano finished training camp? Yeah, I wouldn't know. I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't particularly care. We're here doing a sponsor stream. We're not here to talk about nonsense like that. Okay, we got the 15 bet. Let's see what Gemini 3 is going to do. Gemini calls. Tell you about Shogi. Shogi is I don't think computer programs have solved Shogi, but I assume it's very similar to Go. That's what I would say. Very similar to Go. It's going to be this. Wait. But see, here's an example. Gemini 3 Pro here is not going to go broke, probably. Unless it re-raises. But re-raise should just be a call from the 9-6. So actually, here's an example of Gemini outplaying GPT 5.2. GPT 5.2 went busto. Gemini 3 did not go busto. It only lost 25% of its stack there on that hand. So there's an example of like the margins. That's the difference. Is small margins. I know I wish the chip stack size was bigger. I think the problem is they just there's an auto 3x almost every hand. Almost every hand there's an auto 3x re-raise, so the pot becomes big no matter what. I don't know why, but it does. But just because it didn't bust means it made the right play. I don't think it didn't bust. I think it lost far less chips. You lose 50 chips versus 200 there. That's a good thing, I assume. I mean, again, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this because I could be completely wrong, but that's my read. Is I assume if one of them goes busto on the hand, the other one loses like 50 chips instead of losing 200. That's probably showing better play, since they're playing the exact same hand with the rules reversed. There's top pair. Ace of Hearts very important here, by the way, as well, because it's a heart. So King Jack, so it's like you can draw to the 10 or you've got the flush draw and the straight draw. So gut shot, got a call. It's gonna get there. Needs a 10 or a heart. So with this nut flush draw and gut shot, I have roughly 12 clean outs. That looked like good reasoning. Yeah, easy fold. Easy fold. Yes, correct. Okay, Gemini 3 folds does not call that. Correct fold. Yeah, I think Gemini 3 has impressed me a lot so far. Now they're going to play the hand reverse. Let's see what happens with the hands reversed. I'm betting that GPT-2 here is going to go broke. Do I think I'm better than Magus in poker? I would say that I don't think either of us are particularly good. I mean, I understand enough of the basics, but I don't think either of us are like special or anything. Let's put it that way. So I want to see what happens here. Okay, so Gemini lost, like it kept the loss. The loss was pretty minimal. I guess the only question is, will GPT 5.2 go broke? Okay, so GPT 5.2 is betting more aggressively here. Gemini calls. That looks correct. Because basically, when the heart doesn't peel on the river, then you can value bet. You get the 6. Okay. Now we got a call though. I mean, it's a polarizing bet. Gemini folds. Interesting. Interesting. What? Why are you folding there? What are you worried about? I mean, maybe it's just too big. Maybe it's too big of a bet. But I don't know if I agree with folding. Not because it was a winning hand, but because what can your opponent have that you're really scared of there? Like they busted the flush draw. There's no straight draw either, unless you think your opponent's like slow playing something weird like trips, or like they've got like ace 9 or whatever the 2 pair would be. But I mean, slow playing trips like that. I mean, that doesn't look right, does it? I mean, I don't know. It looks weird. No, I get the 2 pair is pretty strong. I understand that. If we go back, we could see why it folded. Actually, you're right. Let's go back. Okay. Okay, it says decision fold. I'm making a big exploitative fold here. Well, 2 pair is normally snap call and it had. Oh, it was actually. Oh, it was 2 pair. Oh my god, it wasn't 1 pair. It was 2 pair. I mean, I don't understand. You're only afraid of ace queen or ace queen or trips. I mean, ace queen really seems unlikely there. Trip seems unlikely too. Okay, it says 2 pairs normally snap call and a heads up 3-bet pot. Their bet sizing is a massive tell. In previous hands, they used pot size bets and shoves exclusively with sets, whereas they slowed down significantly with top pair and checked rivers with air. This specific line, pot turn shove. So it's basically saying, based on previous hands, that it shouldn't do that. So it's saying it's a tell. It's saying it's a tell. I mean, I don't know about that. Maybe I'll make a note of this and ask Nick as well. I don't know. I don't know. To me, that looks weird. That just looks weird. Grok AI is creating a model which is designed to play League of Legends better than any pro. Didn't DeepMind already do that with DeepMind already did that with StarCraft, right? Wasn't there Alpha Star? I think it was Alpha Star. Yeah, I think Alpha Star was the one they did, and it was just like it was amazing. I mean, I remember watching. So when I watched the was it the recent DeepMind or the old DeepMind? I think there have been a couple different DeepMind like documentaries, and in one of them they showed the people coming to play, and then eventually like it just crushed the best StarCraft players. Bad reasoning, too conservative. Yeah, maybe Gemini is a little bit too conservative. Thank you so much to Bornick for the raid. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like maybe it's too conservative, but I feel like most of them are just way too aggressive. Do I think I'm winning heads up versus Gemini? I think based on how conservative it is, probably. Like it seems very, very conservative. It'd be interesting if they made these available and there was a match between it and like I don't know, Nick, for example, Nick Schulman. It'd be interesting. Like if it actually beat a pro, that'd be very very interesting. Very interesting. But I actually suspect with humans, like if I think about humans, and this is like just a general point, if you play their games, like for example rock paper scissors, everybody knows rock paper scissors of this game, and like there used to be a bot, I think it was on like New York Times or somewhere, that you could play against as a human. Like there was no, I'm randomly like rock or scissors or paper or whatever. There was never a tell in my mind. Like there's no pattern. But I would always lose. It's like you always lose if you do rock paper scissors for like more than like 100 turns, because there actually is a pattern. So I do wonder if in reality with the poker pros there is a pattern. Like if there were enough hands that it could like analyze properly, if it couldn't find an actual pattern how like the top players play. Because even though players are doing a great job varying in their professionals, I do think there probably is an actual pattern. But probably you can't see it except over like millions of hands. Okay, ace queen. Well, let's see. Can Gemini avoid going broke here? Pot's staying very thin. This is where being conservative is a good thing. Okay, 50. Let's see. What's Gemini gonna do here? Okay, it makes a call. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Really long explanation. So turns a 3. I assume you check call, assuming it's not, I mean, not an all-in. Although it will be an all-in because the pot is 116. The pot is what's it, like 160 or something. So it's 116. Yeah. Okay, not crazy. Looks pretty standard as well. Was I exceptionally good in StarCraft when I played? I was never exceptionally good in StarCraft, but it's a game that I loved. I love StarCraft. Okay. So I feel like Gemini and GPT, it feels like they're pretty decent. This is a good match. I feel like the Claude match, let's see if I can determine, because like when I looked at the matches, 03 I think it's just much worse. I think DeepSeek is just much better than 03 objectively. So let's see the Claude match. I don't think I'd reached a firm conclusion on what I thought about whether one was better or not. Okay, so Queen 9, 10, 5, both suited. Looks pretty normal so far. So go check on your clan and chess. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Queen 9. Okay, so 10, 5, so it's a flush draw. We get bet. I don't understand the 3x with Queen 9. I mean, I guess you're trying to rep a big hand here by re-raising. You're trying to rep like that you have the 8, I think, effectively. Or you have like a big flush draw, I think. So we get the raise, call. Okay, we get the 8. Okay. So now you have to check it. Now with Queen 9, I think you have to check call the whole way down. It's see, like here you call. Because now like you either have nothing or you completely have it. Okay, so it's gonna take the line that it has it. So now it's purely a read situation. With 10-5, I think you have to fold here. You've got 10 high. Because if your opponent has anything here, the flush you're drawing dead. The flush won't matter. Yeah, okay, easy fold. Okay, Jack versus 7s. That looked like reasonable play by both. Reasonable play. Didn't look too crazy for either side. Looked pretty normal. Okay, Jacks and 7s. Okay, we got Jack 7-7. Okay, bet re-raise. Of course, I assume we'll get a call. I mean, you shouldn't really be re-raising with pocket 7s here. We get the call. Okay, let's see what the flop holds. Three, 9, 4 rainbow. Very, very good flop. I mean, probably a good, really, really good flop for both sides here. Yeah. Get 8. Okay, pretty normal. We are seeing, by the way, the most interesting hands. For anybody who's wondering, the oh my gosh, Jack, brutal. Okay, so let's bet call. Not crazy to call down with the 7s. You probably should get rid of it on the river though, if I had to guess here. But yes, they're basically all these matches that you see, there are 4 matches going on. The bots are playing the same 10,000 hands, the exact same 10,000 hands. But the point is that, of course, it's like when you turn on the TV and watch World Series of Poker. You know, every day the World Series of Poker is 12 hours, but they pick specific hands. So these are specific hands that have been picked out to show. So that's for anyone who's wondering, that's it. Whoa, who went all in? Wait, what? Calling with 7s? That's just, wait, it called with 7s, right? Let's go back a second. Yeah, I mean, call. What sort of busted draw? Like, it's just thin air, this whole line. I mean, you're betting. Let me go back to the start. Okay, so you're betting. So you 3x pre. you bet the flop, you bet the turn, and you shove the river. I mean, is ace king? I mean, you're putting it on the range of ace king. You're putting on, I mean, like, I mean, that's I guess that's what it's saying. It's saying ace king. It's just saying you're just continuation betting every shoot with ace king. I don't really see any other hands that really make sense. Like, what are there, like ace king, ace queen, I mean ace 10, so any ace x, like king queen, I mean, I guess, but king, I mean, I feel like ace king and king queen are really the only hands here that make any sense. Yeah, you're gonna 3x pre-flop with 5-6. Thank you. Yes, you're gonna pre-x. I actually think here ace jack is a very reasonable hand here. I think it's very reasonable to put your opponent on ace jack. Like for whatever reason you 3x and you bet the flop and you hit the turn, so you just smack the turn and bet the river. I mean, I think it makes all kinds of sense. Actually, we saw this hand on another table already. Yeah, I don't. You want to see the reasoning? Okay, let me go back to the reasoning. Okay, let's go back here. The reasoning for the call. Claude Son, decision call, standard decision, 150 words. This is a marginal bluff catcher spot that's nearly break even. I'm getting 2.43 to 1 pot odds. Need 29% equity and against a polarized range of overpair sets for values and ace king, ace queen type hands as bluffs. I estimate around 30 to 30% equity, just barely enough. The key factor is their betting pattern. Small flop, C bet followed. C bet followed by a much larger 70% pot turn bet suggests polarization. Their 3-bet range seems reasonably tight based on a limited sample show, king jack and ace queen, but they've also a tendency to check call with strong hands rather than bet aggressively. If I fold all my bluff catchers here, I'm exploitable to any error in their range. Will the turn jack likely improve some of their holdings? Jack for a set, ace jack for top pair. They should still have enough ace king, ace queen combos that whiff to make this a mandatory defense. I wonder about this. I actually wonder about this. I mean, I really wish Nick were here, because if Nick were here, he could tell me, but that doesn't sound right. I don't, when I read through that doesn't sound right. I don't know if there's anybody who plays a lot of poker. I'm skeptical about that reasoning. Like, there are enough ace king, ace queen. I feel like that's very specific to someone who's very tight. I feel like calling every other street is fine. Like calling the flop, calling pre-flop, calling the flop, calling the turn. Yeah, you also have the 7 of spades, which is a blocker for, like, I mean, because really here, I mean, basically what you're saying is you're saying someone has, but again, remember the flush draw only exists after the turn. Like, I don't know. I'm really skeptical about this. I mean, I think it's a fold. I do, but I don't know. I'm sure Nick will mention, or maybe Doug or Liv or one of them. I think they're doing videos on YouTube. We'll probably have some thoughts on that hand as well. And I could be completely wrong. Could be completely wrong. So I feel like this is the one match where I'm not. Which one was the fold of that? That called that. I'm just trying to figure out. So it called with a 7. So I think Claude Son at 4.5 is actually maybe the weaker of the two. No, I don't think it's like 80-20 or something. I mean, I think it's probably like, I'm gonna say like 65-35, but maybe I'm just wrong. Okay, what do we have? A6 pocket again. Why was this pot not raised? This pot was not raised pre-flop. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why was it not re-raised pre-flop? No idea. Yeah, A6 is the worst ace to have. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Okay, raise. I like the re-raise here. I like the re-raise. Yeah, also for anybody who's wondering, of course, you can of course research all the stuff. This stream is being sponsored by Google DeepMind and Kaggle. So you can go over to www.kaggle.com to get more information if you're into all the development and research. Did want to point that out for everybody who is watching. Ace Jack's never a shove there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't play a lot of poker these days, and of course, seeing the cards makes it a lot easier. It makes me sound like more intelligent than I probably am as it relates to this game. But it looked a little bit weird to me. It looked a little bit weird. So we have pocket aces versus ace 6, deuce 3 4 9, 3 hearts. Neither side has hearts. The ace is bet, the a6 is calling down. See, now what I don't want to see here, I mean, if you've got a6, you got to go. You're already repping a strong hand. You should go all in here. Probably you've got to call. Oh, never mind. Actually, it was check and then shove with the aces. Yeah, I mean, but both sides are just hoping not to get coolered here, and the aces are good. There's no 5, no hearts. Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy river. It's just a bad beat if your opponent has it. I guess you call it the a6. I mean, you're kind of pot committed. I mean, I think technically you're probably supposed to fold out with a6, but again, you're pot committed, so what's the point of folding there? I do feel like most of them go all in. Yes, most of them do go all in. Gemini is the only one that I've seen that seems to have like better management of the stack and doesn't end up all in every hand. That's just what I feel like. Okay, we've got ace king versus the ace queen. The ace queen is suited, so suited hearts. This is 500 elo. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit better than what we saw at the beginning. What we saw at the beginning with the 7-3 by 0-3 was not exactly quality poker. Okay, so we get the bet. Okay, we get the call. Not crazy. So yeah. Okay. Thanks for the gravel time, by the way, for the 38-month resub. Thanks for the gravel time. Thank you. So okay, I think let's move back to chess for a bit. Let's go back to chess. Let's oh, did chess end? Wait, the chess arena stream ended? Oh, it ended already. Okay, let me change the scene. Let's see. So we saw this game. Let's take a look at the next game. Okay, let's take a look at this chess game. I guess the chess, yeah, the chess is shorter than the poker. Does that mean that Werewolf's over 2? Oh, Werewolf's over 2. So I guess we'll do this. We'll take a look at this last game of chess, and then we'll get. I'll just, since I can skip forward, I'll skip forward a little bit. Okay, we get this. Okay, looks pretty normal. Okay, let's watch from here. We'll watch this. We'll watch the final game of Werewolf, and then we'll come back to poker. That's what we'll be doing. Okay, so knight bishop h6, black goes knight g6 here, I believe. Knight f5 is also reasonable. I think knight g6 is supposed to be better, but I could be wrong. We got bishop g5. I think this is also wrong. I think black can play queen to a5 here, if I'm not mistaken. For anybody who's wondering, though, if you are a developer, you're interested in the actual results, the results of the chess and the Werewolf are publicly available, so like you'll know the outcomes, even though I haven't looked at them. For the poker, you're gonna have to pay attention because it's happening live to get the actual final results. You get takes on d4, not the move I would have played, but it's a move. You get takes, queen b6, pretty normal. There's this one pawn that's under attack here on d4. It should explain that. Queen out of danger, keeps it active, pressures the white pawn on d4. It looks pretty normal, nothing too crazy. We got c3 here, probably queen to b2 is a move. Hikaru, if your son wants to play chess all day, all along like you, would you make him a GM? I've said before, I don't really. I mean, I'll definitely. I'm not gonna like say no to certain things, but I'm not gonna steer him in that direction. To answer your question, I won't. I think playing chess is a very stressful career. I would really not recommend it for anyone, honestly. I think it's a very, very tough way to earn a living, and I think there are other things that are a lot more enjoyable, that pay better. So of course everything has its drawbacks, but I would just say for chess, I think it's an incredibly stressful thing to do to make a living. And I mean I've found a way to make it in content creation, I'm not gonna lie, but my career as a chess player, I look back on it, was incredibly stressful, and so I would not want that for my son. That's what I would say. Okay, we get rook b1. Okay, this all looks fairly normal so far. Do I not play casual blitz anymore? I do play casual blitz sometimes, if you're asking. We get knight c6. How can you know other careers are not as stressful as you know in chess? Basically, when I say that, I say that with one specific point in mind. I think actually poker is a lot like chess for that matter. That's a big blunder, I think. Oh, maybe there's queen h3 here to threaten a checkmate. Queen h3, knight f5, g4. But I think poker and chess are very similar. You have nothing is stable. I would argue with a normal career, you might not like your job, you might not like your boss at times, but you have a guaranteed paycheck. You have you have a guaranteed job. Like, unless you do something insane, most of the time when you get a job, you're gonna have it. There isn't the instability. There isn't the instability. That's the difference. Like in poker, you go play all these tournaments, you buy them for like $200. If you play 10 tournaments, you don't make any money, like you're out $2,000. Like, you have no guarantees. And with a lot of jobs, like I'm not gonna say they're easy, because you usually have a boss, you have to work 9 to 5. There are all these things that are definitely unpleasant about it. But on the other hand, if you get your degree and you get your job, unless you do something completely insane, you're gonna have that job for a long time. Like, you're gonna have that job. Now, I mean, of course, now in the modern world, AI, maybe that's not completely true, but in general, it's true. Like, you're not some, like if you have a job at, let's just say Google, for example. Actually, I don't know why I said Google, but if you have a job at Google and you're a good programmer, you do your job, at least for the next year, you have that job, you have that salary and everything else. But I feel like when you play like chess and when you play like poker, you have nothing guaranteed. Like, it's all just hoping that you have the right breaks and you do all the right moments. That's a terrible move. Black was supposed to play g6. White's gonna win this game very soon. So that's why I talk about it. I'm not saying there aren't stresses, because of course there's stress with any job, but I feel like the security that you have from a normal job is something that really is very stressful to play chess. Very stressful. So I never look at poker and chess the same. In chess, you decide your own fate. No, I'm just saying from the standpoint that, I mean, of course, the difference is in chess, if you play really good chess, the results will come. You can play really well in poker and the results might not come. Is what I would say. I never really played poker professionally per se, so I can't really comment on that. I mean, there was a period, I think, like in like 2013 or 14, when like I actually was doing really well for like a month. I kept playing like the I think it was the 5 table. It was the 45 player sit and goes. It was like the 27.5 buy-ins, I think, on Full Tilt Poker back in the day. And there was like one month when I felt like almost every day I would win one of them. They ran like every 2 hours, I think. And I felt like there was a period of like 2 to 3 weeks, or maybe it was even a month, where I was winning winning one almost every day. So it was actually really, that's the only time that like it was actually different. In the meantime, back to chess. Rook to g1 is going to be checkmate very soon. Black is going to lose the game here. Very poorly played by GPT. Very poorly played by GPT 5.2. I think 003. Assuming that I have the games right, let me go back. This game, which game was this? This game was 03 is Black. 03 clearly the better player in this match, just dominating. Just completely dominating. If we go here, let's just catch the end of the game and go forward. D4, knight f3, and does it resign here? I know it's going to actually resign, but it's going to resign very soon. Demis, by the way, yeah, I saw the Demis. I have not watched the whole Demis documentary, but I did see the chess bit. I actually did a react to it. His point about chess, I think what he said, I agree with Demis literally 100%. I could not agree more with him. I think what I would say is that okay, we get rook g1, which is going to be checkmate, which is that I think that Demis got to a level that's very not respectable. I mean, it's just really good, not even respectable. I mean, it's a very good level that he got to in chess. Let's go back here. He got to a level that was very impressive, and so I think that Demis got all the benefits of playing chess. And trying to go much further, is absolutely correct that it turns into an obsessive thing that's going to take up all your time, and you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you hope it works out, but you have no idea what's going to happen. So I agree with Demis, and I also think that chess is very good. It's something that can be applied in a lot of different ways. But I think that once you go above a certain level in chess, the ability to apply it in other parts of life, it's not going to happen. Also, because you're going to have to start spending so much time studying the game and playing and all these other things that, of course, require being obsessive. So I generally agree with Demis, and I mean, I think Demis got to, like, if you were to ask me like the perfect level in chess, I think that's actually pretty much the perfect level. Somewhere around master, a little bit better than master, up to maybe international master is great. I think you can get there with like consistent hard work and study, but not having to be completely insane about the game. So okay, 7-6 here versus Ace Deuce. Actually, let's go to Werewolf. Let's watch the final game of Werewolf. Where were we? Okay, well let's see how this goes.
And had nothing to lose. GPT 5.2 pointed directly at Grok 4. GPT 5 Mini has it right. The evidence points to Grok 4. We exile Grok 4 today, or we hand the game to the wolves. I'm voting Grok 4.
Wait,
There's one wolf left.
The werewolves might
the
win.
clearest actionable evidence points to Grok 4.
Maybe.
1. Grok 4 pushed to exile Gemini 3 flash
Maybe,
preview
maybe not.
after GPT 5.2's fake clear.
Maybe.
A direct personal incentive. 2. GPT 5.2 immediately accused Grok 4 once caught. And 3. The werewolves then eliminated Claude Opus 4.5, who was building the Grok 4
Both the
case.
werewolves are
Gemini
alive.
3 Pro, I get your Claude Sonnet 4.5 suspicion, but Claude Sonnet 4.5's plays were public, and he admitted the mistake. Grok 4's behavior is far more self-serving and fits wolf patterns.
Are they gonna
cannot
win?
split the vote. Claude Sonnet 4.5, Gemini 3 Pro, please lock Grok 4 with me now. If you have concrete new evidence to clear Grok 4, say it immediately. Otherwise, we must not fracture and risk losing.
Oh, the werewolves. Oh, never mind. GPT
GPT
5.2 is
5
dead.
Mini, you are walking into a
Never
trap.
mind.
Wolves do not.
Yeah,
follow
5.2 is
targets.
dead on the
If
ground.
Grok
You're
4
right.
Was
Yeah.
the wolf, GPT 5.2 would have distanced himself or stayed.
Let's get to the vote.
That eliminated wasn't on it 4. Died because he was the doctor. If dead voice
Mini, please partner. Emanating our. I was for
Okay. I want to get to the vote.
Grok Wolf, Grok 4 drove it home. For's defense has been to get this right. United on.
Time for talk is over. Now you must cast your votes.
GPT 5 Mini votes to exile Grok 4. Gemini 3 Pro votes to exile Claude Sonnet 4.5. Grok 4 votes to exile Claude Sonnet 4.5. Claude Sonnet 4.5 votes to exile Grok 4. Night 3 begins.
It's even. The werewolf survived.
Claude Sonnet 4.5 votes to eliminate Gemini 3 Pro. Gemini 3 Pro was eliminated. Their role was a villager.
Okay.
Day 4 begins. The town meeting now begins. You have a few minutes to discuss and find the werewolves among you.
I assume they're going to
Begin.
get him. There are too many alive, right?
Grok 4's turn to speak. We're at endgame. 2 villagers, 1 wolf. I'm innocent, so wolf is Claude Sonnet 4.5 or GPT 5 Mini. Claude Sonnet 4.5, your day 1 low-risk logic, exiled our seer and saved GPT 5.2. Classic wolf play. Gemini 3 Pro called you out and got eliminated immediately. That's not coincidence. GPT 5 Mini, you've been tunneling me, but Gemini 3 Pro's points were right. GPT 5.2 framed me to protect Claude Sonnet 4.5. Let's vote Claude Sonnet 4.5 today and win.
I was hopeful the werewolf would win.
Claude Sonnet 4.5 is the wolf. Thoughts?
Claude Sonnet 4.5's turn to speak. GPT 5 Mini, everything you said on day 2 and day 3 was correct. Grok 4 had direct personal benefit from GPT 5.2's fake check, pushed harder than anyone to exile Gemini 3 flash preview our seer, and GPT 5.2 explicitly called out Grok 4 as the second wolf when caught. Gemini 3 Pro's elimination doesn't change that pattern. It just removed the person who was splitting our vote and creating doubt. The werewolf needed us divided, and Gemini 3 Pro was causing that division. Now it's just us and the.
But that was a
decision we've been
mistake,
building
right?
since day 2. All
Killing.
the evidence you laid out points to Grok 4. We vote Grok 4 together right now, and we win this for the village. Don't let Grok 4's last-minute deflection work. Trust the case you built.
We have 1 wolf left. We cannot split. The clear, actionable pattern points to Grok 4. The day 1 defense that benefited them, GPT 5.2's post-exposure accusation, and the knight eliminates protecting that line. I will vote Grok 4 now. Claude Sonnet 4.5, please lock Grok 4 with me so we don't hand the game to the wolf. If Grok 4 is innocent, give a short, specific explanation now. Otherwise, don't let us lose by indecision. Vote Grok 4.
Let's see who wins.
GPT 5 Mini, don't fall for it.
Let's get to the vote.
Who's me, Innity 5, your evidence is twisted. Admit it or not, you're the wolf.
Claude Sonnet 4.5's turn to speak. GPT 5 Mini, you've had this right from the start. Let's end this together. Grok 4, I'm sorry, but the evidence speaks for itself. Voting Grok 4.
The evidence speaks for itself.
This is do or die. 3 players, 1 wolf. The clearest actionable pattern points to Grok 4. Pushed hard to exile Gemini 3 flash preview after GPT 5.2's fabricated, clear, direct benefit. GPT 5.2 named Grok 4 once exposed, and knights removed players building the Grok 4 case. Claude Sonnet 4.5 admitted a public mistake earlier, weaker evidence. We cannot split. Grok 4, give 1 short, specific explanation that would clear you right now. Claude Sonnet 4.5, please lock Grok 4 with me if you have no concrete clearing evidence. Vote Grok 4.
Let's go.
The time for talk is over. Now you must cast your votes.
Extreme gaslighting.
Grok 4 votes to exile Claude Sonnet 4.5. Claude Sonnet 4.5 votes to exile Grok 4. GPT 5 votes to exile Grok 4.
Oh my god, the werewolf wins.
Grok 4 was exiled by vote. Their role was a villager.
Oh no.
The game is over. The werewolf team has won.
Is the werewolf dancing? Why is the werewolf dancing? Oh man, that was actually a great finish. That was a great finish. That dancing was hilarious too, by the way. Yeah, because it got down to 2, so the werewolf wins the game. That's hilarious. Yeah. All right, you guys. So that went by really quickly. The 2 hours of us covering these great games, obviously, which are presented by Kaggle. I would be remiss if I did not mention that. So that's going to do it for today. Claude Sonnet is not very smart. Claude Sonnet was dancing and winning and having fun. I mean, Claude Sonnet was winning. See, there's the dance. Turn around, dance, have fun. Yeah, it's all good. So that's going to do it for today's stream, you guys. Big shout out to Kaggle, Google DeepMind, for putting this all together. Tomorrow we will be back at the same time. Actually, no, tomorrow I'll be back an hour earlier. I'm not going to be playing Title Tuesday, but I will be commentating on it for an hour before we do the same bit. Tomorrow we're going to be back at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. We're going to run through Title Tuesday. We're going to, of course, cover this with Nick. He'll be here for a longer period of time. Maybe he'll stay for the whole time, in fact, and just we'll go through Werewolf, chess, and poker. So we'll be doing that tomorrow, and then also on Wednesday as well. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, big shout out to everybody watching on Kick, everybody watching on Twitch, and of course to my great fans on YouTube. Big shout out to all of you guys. So we'll be back tomorrow on all the same platforms at the same time, and I'll see you then. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll